All right, what's going on, guys? So I'm back with another Sunday watch list. Should be a pretty interesting week. Finally back from the Thanksgiving weekend. So hopefully some better liquidity than last week comes into the market, right? So these are some of the levels I'll be paying attention to for SPY. First of all, it's going to be this supply zone at 456 to 456.5. You guys can see we rejected there multiple times in July, August, and here we are again, November 22nd. We got a decent reject from that area. One thing I am noticing is that we are forming higher lows here. We have a low, higher low, higher low. This area held up really nice for higher lows. Same thing here, higher low, higher low. So two scenarios, right? This supply zone either pushes, we break, retest, and we make a higher high. The 458 low is going to be that next level. If not, if we show weakness here, I will be looking for rejections back down into this trend line that is also holding from 1, 2, 3, 4 touches below that trend line and Wednesday's low, which is 453.86. That is where we have room down to this recent demand zone at 452. Notice how we do have a rejection, a bounce, and a bounce here. So a break and retest of this trend line gets us to move down into there. And from there, that is where we start pushing lower to 450s, right? So those are going to be the next levels to the downside if things get weak. Now, a little bit extended, but those are the two scenarios, right? Neither bullish or bearish just yet. If I were to be biased, I would say, based off of NVIDIA being weak, this is a relatively weak name. Microsoft is a relatively strong name right now. I did all my analysis earlier, so I'll cover these right now, but should be an interesting week on what we get here for SPY. So those are the levels to pay attention to for the either or scenario, okay? QQQ, very, very similar. We have that 392, the 391.5, 391.4 area that keeps getting rejected, right? Once, twice, three times. We did break above it, but we rejected instantly on Wednesday from that 393. So that 391.3 is going to be an area that I will be paying attention to for rejects. If we do get above that, it has room to 393. See how we react at 393. Anything above that, though, back room up to 396. But it does look like we're starting to get a reversal, though. As you guys see, it's kind of like a rising wedge here. We have lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And then on this day, we kind of didn't make another higher low compared to SPY, right? So Q's is getting a little bit weaker than SPY. So what I want to see is if we come to this area and we get rejected, probably a pushback, break of the trend line for another move down into 387 and then down into the demand zone down here, which holds up multiple times here, right? This 384 area. Below that, we do have this gap fill here below that. So that is something we could potentially pay attention to. If not, above that 393, 392 area, then we start pushing to the all-time highs basically, right? Almost all-time highs. So 396 and then this 400 level in Qs. But I definitely see a pullback happening before we get up there. See what happens, right? Those are my main watches for the week. Apple, two levels to pay attention to is 192 and 189. 189 is this demand zone that we pay attention to for either bounces or break and retest below or rejects around this 192, which continue to fail to go lower. So keep it simple on that one. Amazon's does look a little bit stronger than the rest on the daily, right? Above 148, something I'd pay attention to for Amazon. 148 could give us room back up into the 150s. Not my favorite one, but Microsoft is looking a little bit better, right? If we go to Microsoft, you can see that we have a clear flat top resistance here from 380 to 379.55. Multiple rejections. If I go to a 5-minute time frame, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rejections, and here we have a trend line as well, which we are forming higher lows here. If I go to the hourly, you will see just kind of ranging from these areas. So an important level to pay attention to is going to be the recent low here from Friday, 375, which is also Wednesday's low. Notice how we do catch big bounces off of that area, as well as big rejections off of 380. So that's the range. We'll not be trading inside the range. We'll be reacting off of 380 or 375 for either rejects up here or the break and retest above. Same thing here, either bounces here or the break and retest below. That's why it's very important to read price action. Definitely check out my video on my page, how to read price action live example. It's a good example on how to react when you approach to certain key levels, right? So definitely pay attention to that. Definitely go check that out. But below this 375, probably room down to 371. So that's a good trade for Microsoft to pay attention to. Other than that, Nvidia is the one that does look weak. I definitely see us getting to 365 this week. This is the one that is, getting a little bit exhausted. So I want to see how we react that this area here, this 475, below 475 to about a $10 move down to 365. Looks a lot better, right? And if Nvidia is weak, it's probably going to bring down the tech sector as well, right? We got to see what Microsoft does as well, though. Other than that, not so interested in AMD. See what happens off this 122 if it holds or doesn't. Meta, Google, Tesla. Not too interested in these just yet. Tesla could potentially hold here. This 230 back up to 246, but we'll see what the overall market does. One that I do like that is not part of the usual stocks we chart is UPS. Holidays are coming up. We had this huge supply zone back here, this huge demand zone, my bad, from 155, which was a huge demand zone that always held up, and we're starting to approach it again. So I want to see if we either reclaim this for potential swings. So something that I really, really like for UPS, especially in December, right? We want to see what happens here. You see what happens every time we come to this level, right? So we'll see what happens there. SPY, Qs, main watch, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. Keep an eye on those. As far as economic data, doesn't look like we have much, right? Nothing on Monday. Consumer confidence Tuesday. Some Fed speakers on Tuesday as well. GDP on Wednesday, that's what we should pay attention to. Should be before market open. Jobless claims and PCE Thursday. And Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell does speak on Friday, early morning. So keep an eye on those events, and we'll see if any better setups start to develop throughout the middle of the week, right? But I hope everyone has a good trading week. Keep this one a little bit short. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good trading week.